Hey everyone, time for another Q&A. First things first, the Random Siren Shorts is still indeed alive. I'm still scripting the Random Siren Shorts 19. In fact, here's the unfinished script pixelated to prevent spoilers. So you can stop asking me about it now. I know it's been a while. I even acknowledged this fact at the end of the name on the poll.
Wailing Hornet? That reminds me, I haven't made a Random Siren Shorts in a while.
And next thing's next, the new melodix card I recently got. The MCT12 Sweet Memories card. This one won't be replacing the Ringsland Medley green sleeves set for October though, as that'll be the last pre-siren test chime of 2023. I'd only replace that one if I got an MCT09 green sleeves card, so no need to worry about the Ringsland Medley version becoming Sweet Memories. And speaking of the ML304, I recently made another custom chime. I'm pretty sure at least some of you might recognize this song. Yeah, that's Let Her Go by Passenger, for those who don't know.
But you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go.
Now why did I make a synth of this song? Well, it's because I got the song stuck in my head a while back, and as a result I looked it up and immediately got nostalgic about it as soon as the intro played. I remember hearing it on the radio every now and again years ago before I even started my channel, and I hadn't heard it again since. That is, until it popped into my head as of recently and I searched it up. And I thought an ML304 version would sound nice, so I made one, although it's an edited down version made to last around a minute long, so I could use it as the first pre-siren test chime of 2024. While Sweet Memories will be the second one. And one more thing, I recently saw a video from Fan of Fans saying he got all 3 ML1000 melodix cards and I couldn't resist making this meme. Okay, now onto the Q&A. Hugo the Cool Shadok Video Maker 2002 particularly commented, "Me when you downloaded Gotcha Studio. God f***ing at BSP, why? 'Cause I can." Well that, and I needed it for the name on the poll as well as Zodiac Who. The SE SD Railfan commented, "Do you know what object shows are? They've been going on since 2009. I think so, that's more or less what TSM is. Can you make a weatherproof Darley Champion for TSM? Aren't all tornado sirens meant to be weatherproof?" Mason Monster commented, "When do you think we'll be able to get a video of all the Ringsland Chime Station and Medley songs?" Maybe after all the siren test videos of this year are made, as there's only 2 tests left, being in September and October. Then after the test compilation video comes out, I might release a video of all the Medley chimes. The chime station was messed up by the hard drive crash, so only 6 chimes survived, and they're linked in the description of the 37K special. Lightning Thomas Productions commented, "For 41K, what's your favorite fast food place?" McDonald's. Definitely McDonald's. "What Windows OS did you use the most?" 7. CG1000T commented, "That poem, LOL. Yeah, I had so much fun with that poem I even turned it into a song. So here you go, even though I lost a little practice on my singing skills since I made Trapped in a Cage of Love, and my music editing skills might have deteriorated a bit since I last made a song with lyrics in it. I bet that dime is just glass, and I bet that ring is just brass. Merit sucks, donkey ass, so I'm gonna have to give it a pass. Merit sucks, donkey ass, so I'm gonna have to give it a pass. I don't care if this song is crass, I'm down on one knee in a donkey mask. But marriage sucks, donkey ass, so I'm gonna have to give it a pass." And now I've made a sequel too, though I guess it's more of a prequel as this event often comes before marriage, as well as with it. This song is a rejection of a kiss. This song is also a little bit more of a sweet rejection rather than a savage one. And it doesn't have any profanity in it, so it's a little more family friendly than the last one. Quick disclaimer here, I am still single and singularitized. I just made this song because I felt like it. Anyways, it's called I Don't Want to Enter Code K155. I love you so much, there's nothing to fear. Nobody but us is standing out here. There's a secret code to unlock my heart, I've thought about it ever since the start. I saw you leaning in, but I had to back away, 'cause I got something to say. Ooh, you make me feel so alive. But I don't wanna enter code K155. Ooh, you make me feel so alive. But I don't wanna enter code K155. I'll never wanna kiss you, I know it's a shame, but I don't wanna play the spit swapping game. It's unsanitary and incredibly gross, although I still love you the most. I know you think we need it for our romance to survive, but I don't see the point in code K155. It's unsanitary and incredibly gross, but I will always hold you close, because I still love you the most. And while we're on the topic of songs, I might as well share a preview of an Auld Lang Syne parody I made called The Light of the Fireflies, not to be confused with The Glow of Fireflies from Japan. When the sun goes down and we don't have time to wait for it to rise, we'll have to find our way around with the light of the fireflies. This song is not an English translation of The Glow of Fireflies or Hotaru no Hikari. Rather, it's a song that might have some use as a camping song or whatnot. I'm not going to play the whole song here due to it being too long, so I'll include it in a separate video alongside the K155 song, though it won't come out until a bit later because there are several other videos in the queue before it. Ghosty Pants commented, "Sup broso, congratulations on the 40k subs. Bro, I didn't expect to be seen on the gacha style, but it looks really nice in that way. Even though I'm not a huge fan of the app myself, it's always nice to see how those little buddies turn out. LMAO, I cracked at it when it showed my Sona dancing on 2810's pole, like he knew what's coming when he tries that usual line stunt with me. Also, lol, it seems like that shipping drama really took inspiration, and I love how you added a SpongeBob line to it. Really love how it came out when that's exactly how I think of it. Glad you liked it. And in fact, I even made a TSM meme regarding the subject as well. Also, BSP and swearing? Talk about something new to come out. I almost choked on my beer when you broke out in laughter, Lamau. You gotta do that more often, bro. I tell you, it got my thumbs up. Thanks for the like. Why do I get the Hyrule vibes when you played the music of your melodix card at the start? I might keep forgetting what's the name of the chime, which makes me wonder, is there a way to make Nintendo music in that style? The chime I played in that clip is called Edelweiss, and there is actually a bit of irony here in your statement about making Nintendo music in this style. I recently found a video of someone who made a song with the same type of chip the Melodix ML304 uses, the Yamaha YM2203C, and it sounded kind of similar to a certain Sega console. Yeah, that's right. It sounds like a Sega Genesis or Mega Drive. So I looked up the sound chip the Genesis uses, and it's a similar chip made by Yamaha as well, that being the YM2612. Who'd have thought there'd be a slight connection between the Sega Genesis and the Toei Melodix ML304? Imagine the Basimi Sen system playing the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 chemical plant music. Not going to play this from the mini Basimi Sen though. Might as well add this onto my list of questions for the next Q&A rounds. Have you ever gone deep into deep macabre types of humor or thought of perhaps making a grieving-themed episode? I'm kind of struggling on one of my scripts that's based off the death of Riva's mother. Ironically as well, is that P50 is going to be in part of the people at the funeral, or I guess the sirens at the funeral. So, despite his usual trouble run, he'd show a good side. Really? I always thought P50 would just be the insensitive one there, making fun of Riva or her mom or something, and P-50 would be the one consoling everyone. Perhaps third an episode that contains same-gender pairings? Another possible one is a Yuri of 1003 in Tazio due to the tough mushroom trusting her with her secret in another unposted script. Keep in mind though, Tazio herself is a tomboy too. She is not my self-insert. 1003 in TSM is straight, so I think this is best saved for your comics. However, I have noticed a bit of Yuri between Tazio and Petra Monet, so maybe there could be something in Part 3 of the All Signs Counted Tornado Siren Madness crossover with Petra in it, since I saw you already finished scripting Part 2. Maybe in Part 3 one of the group members could walk in on Tazio and Petra and that's how they meet her. And maybe Thunderbolt first thinks it's 1003, but then 1003 shows up behind him and Thunderbolt gets all confused. I don't know. Just an idea, I guess. Thought I'd plant the creative seed. It may grow, or it may die, but I'd never know if I didn't give it a try. And I feel I should say this now before anyone assumes anything about me here. Even though I'm singularitized, I am still straight. If I had to date anyone, I'd date a female. Then, have you ever inserted tomboy sirens or characters before? If you need short context, tomboys are basically girls and women that mainly wear male clothing and show more interest in video games, sports, cars, etc., more than the usual ladies' activities in flesh pink style. Yeah, I'm bad at explaining, but I did my best, Lamau. I think I know what you're talking about, especially since you seem to be a tomboy yourself. And no, I don't think I've ever really inserted tomboy sirens into TSM before. I guess except for that one time Tazio showed up, even though that was a crossover episode where a few TSM characters jumped dimensions and ended up in the All Signs Counted universe where they met Tazio. Cyclone commented, "What inspired you to make Tornado Siren Madness?" The old Random Siren Insanity cartoons I watch every now and then. In fact, TSM used to just be Random Siren Insanity with a different name until viewers started scripting episodes. That's when TSM episodes started getting more story to them. What's the rarest siren you've ever seen? In real life? Like in person? Gee, I do have vague memories of seeing a Sterling 16-port N5 on top of a tower somewhere, though I kind of forgot exactly where it was, even though the N5 isn't exactly a super rare siren. Do you think you should make a mini Wayland, any Wayland? I once had an idea to make a mini Vortex, but later decided against it. 4. Does the Toa horn work with the Rinksland chime? Yes, it's literally just a 25 or 70 volt power speaker. I can play anything through it as long as I have the right type of amplifier and playback device. And here it is playing the Rinksland medley Love is Blue alongside my mini beside my Sun horns. Though I only did this once back in 2022, as I was a little afraid that using both a power horn and normal speakers together at the same time on that amp would break it. Luckily it didn't. If I were to use that Toa horn again, it would likely be solo. Maybe on New Year's, if I play Auld Lang Syne from the balcony and it's too cold for the mini beside my son's normal horns, I'll use the Toa horn instead. Oh, and since this is a Toa horn, here it is playing the ML304B Sweet Memories. Five, have you seen the Sweden sirens in real life? No, I've never even been to Sweden. Heck, I've never even been outside the United States. SIE and K&S Productions Inactive commented, questions for 41K. 1. Do you know about reflector bulbs? For example, BR30, R20, PAR 38, PAR 30, PAR 20, etc. Yeah, when I said I knew about light bulbs and that everyone knows about them because of them being a common home appliance, I kind of assumed you'd know I'm just aware of their existence and I'm not an aficionado like you are. But I will say this. I do know of the three main basic types. Incandescent, compact fluorescent or CFL, and LED or light emitting diode. And there's also a special type of incandescent bulb called the three-way. It's a light bulb with 3 different brightnesses. This is achieved by placing 2 filaments in the bulb rather than the traditional one. And with a special type of socket and switch, this bulb can light up bright, brighter, and the brightest. The bright setting is the smaller filament, and the brighter setting is the larger filament. And the brightest setting is both filaments at once. Now, if you put this bulb in a normal socket, it will only light up the brighter large filament. It has to be in this special socket in order to achieve full functionality. And putting a normal bulb in one of these sockets will work, but you have to turn the knob twice to activate and twice to deactivate. So now you know why a lot of lamps are like that. They're designed to accommodate the three-way bulb. And here's how to tell the difference between the two socket types. If you only have to turn the switch once, that lamp is not ready for a three-way. But if you have to turn it twice, it's compatible with three-way bulbs. And here's one more light bulb related bit. The final moments of my room's previous incandescent light bulb uttering its last glow before shrouding me in darkness.
Time to change it.
And you can't repair a broken filament. Oh well, if you can't make it better, make it worse. 2. What's that thing you're pressing down in the 39K Q&A? Is that a temporary disarm button? That was actually the button that the door is supposed to hold down. If the door is opened, it releases the button and sounds the alarm. So I was holding it down to trick it into thinking I hadn't removed that cover yet. 3. Is that black thing that you're relocating in the 39K Q&A the sounder for the alarm system? That is a motion sensor, but not the type you're probably thinking of. It senses when it's moved, so if you move it, it goes off. This one's a little bit faulty in real life though, as you can tell. The British Demon commented, I'm fine with cuss words, Mick. I'm Scottish for f***'s sake. Yeah, I am aware that not everyone is offended by curses, but since I almost always censor them in my videos, I didn't want to take anyone by surprise or offend the handful of sensitive viewers that I've gathered up over the years that have gotten used to me bleeping out swears because that's how my channel started and has been for years for the most part. So I put little disclaimers for uncensored cuss words, and any other time I curse in a Q&A, it's more often than not censored by a tornado siren sound like a f***ing vortex or a goddamn hurricane. Either that or one of those ATI sirens. Cody Rapp commented, can you give us the full demo of the Ringslim Medley Nanatsuko and will you make a TSM 1003 character figurine? It's Nanatsuko, by the way, and sure, even though I'll also show in the Ringslim Medley Chime compilation video. And I might make a 1003 figurine after I finish a few other prints first. In fact, here's the figurine's 3D model. Le Cat commented, well, it seems he didn't see my comment, so I'll post it again. Question for 41K. Tempest ice cream truck? It serves Tempest Cola flavored ice cream, along with other things. Also, what was the most difficult character to draw, and which is least used? That's all. The trickiest one to draw would be the one with the most detail. So I give that title to the rusted busted Gen 1 music siren briefly seen in the music siren conundrum. And he was the least used character too, since he only showed up for about a second. Copper commented, Broken Solar Panel, I've been a very big fan of your channel for a long time now, thanks. Question for 41K. Will 1003 ever learn her lesson and just leave poor Thunderbolt alone? Unlikely, as that's one of TSM's most famous running gags. Kinda like P50 being evil or 2810 hating burps. TSM wouldn't be the same without these key points. 2. Do you know and or watch any object shows such as Battle for Dream Island? I don't really watch many object shows out of my own, being TSM. Dink and Dane commented, 41K question. When you get all the melodix cards, will you still use the PBM-10? Probably, as I do still want to use the Ringslin chimes too, not just the melodix chimes. Every time a Ringslin chime is replaced with a melodix card, it just gets moved to next year. And another thing, a few of the melodix cards are normally very hard to come by. I may only have 6 more cards to collect, but 3 of them are super rare. Them being Moonlight Serenade, MCT10, and both versions of Auld Lang Syne, the extended one being MCM01 and the standard one being MCT15. The other 3 are a little bit rare as well, but not as much so as the first 3. Christina Monti commented, for 41k subs, 1. Did you scrap the 3D printed Yamaha music siren? And 2. Can you show a video doing maintenance to your mini Thunderbolt? I did sort of give up on the mini music siren, but I do still have all the parts I've printed so far in the 3D printer desk if I ever decide to resume the creation process. And there is a bit at the beginning of the mini 2001 bolt test video with radio exercises as the chime where I show how I switch the mini Thunderbolt's choppers and change the pitch. And I'll link that in the description. Sugar Mash commented, for 41k, 1. I made a custom siren called the Zendril-X JCQ 5600 and the SHRD 8500, which I'm planning to put on TSM in the future together with my siren series. 2. Why does the blob not look like its original counterpart in TSM Mega Thunderplex and it normally has tentacles with a Funtime Freddy head? I don't know, I thought it'd be funny for 500's puke to come to life and later be blown up and splatter everywhere. 3. Why did the Model 120 not appear in any TSM episode? He did appear as a secondary character in the first and last parts of the London trip. Smart Rip Guy 118 Productions commented, hey BSP, just a question, what's the difference between an FS 2001 and 2001 130? 2001 is just the name of the Siren series. There's the 2001 DC, the 2001 SRN, the 2001 SRNB, and the 2001 130. And I guess also the Roundback DC, and the Equinox, which is basically just an 8-port 2001 130. The older 2001s seem to have a slightly lower pitch than the newer ones though, even though they're still 12-port. Logan Cave commented, the mini Thunderbolt siren wind-up and wind-down is too short to sound quite right. If it was longer, it would sound better and more accurate. If I were to fix this, I'd need a different capacitor in the chopper circuit with more capacitance. The higher the capacitance, the longer the wind-down, though some capacitors are too big to fit in the mini Thunderbolt's control box. I Roll with the Bonnettes commented, oh, that was so funny. I love the outfit you chose for her for that. I know, right? Gotcha Studio Madison actually has 5 different outfits. R32JZ commented, how does your Mini 2001 work? Even though it barely works at all, I might as well explain it. It works similar to the real 2001. Chopper in the back, status ports have small horns that angle towards the big cone part which projects the sound out the front. The rotator is the same design as my Mini Thunderbolt, but it doesn't seem to be as reliable on the Mini 2001 DC as it is on the Mini Thunderbolt. Pizza Broadcast commented, hey BSP, good seeing you. I'm the guy who created the custom siren ear piercer in the series. You've grown so much, and I love Tornado Siren Madness. Although I don't usually watch it much anymore, considering I'm working on my own projects and whatnot. I still come by to enjoy an episode or two. Tornado Siren Madness forever holds a special place in my heart, BSP. Thanks again for putting a little drawing of mine into the show. Just a request here, how about another episode with ear piercer? It's all up to you. Thanks again for making me super happy as a kid. Catch you on the flip side, friend. Thanks. I'm glad I made your childhood. And I can say the same to several others too, as I'm starting to get more comments saying that it made their childhood. How did I give them nostalgia? I just keep realizing more and more how old my channel is. It's 7 years old now, almost a decade of cartoons, siren pictures fighting each other, mini sirens functional and display only, siren tests, songs, Q&As, and so on. And here's another indicator that I've been around for a while. The cobwebs forming on the MBJ's horns. The German Sirens commented, questions for 41k. Will you get a real siren? Probably not anytime soon. 2. What laptop and OS do you use? The laptop is an HP 2000 and it used to have Windows 7 on it, but it now has Windows 10. Scoop63 Official commented, questions for 41k. Do you know about Wichita, Kansas' siren system and T75, the oldest active Thunderbolt in the world? Yeah, I saw that siren got restored, and I first heard it called simply the oldest Thunderbolt in the world, and I thought, that's debatable. Then I hear that it's the oldest active Thunderbolt siren in the world, and that made more sense. BoldBrick1212 commented, hi BSP, question for 41k. Will you ever make custom melodix cards? I can't make my own customized physical cards that play on the real hardware, but I can make synths of songs in Mixcraft with sampled sounds from Retro Music Editor. Here's the full version of the ML304 cover of Let Her Go. If I wanted to play these synths on the Mini Basai-Musen, I just need to put them on the PBM-10. It is only a synth of an ML304, though I've already done this once before, with a song called Tanbi. This was the first chime of 2023. The DRJ2006 commented, "Your Mini Basai-Musen sounds quieter for some reason." That may be for two reasons. One, it was a little windy that day and the wind was blowing into the camera's microphone occasionally. I didn't have the wind filter on it. Two, the MCT04 free release card is just by its own nature a little bit quieter than most of the other ML304 chimes. Though I guess I could have compensated for this by turning the volume up a little on the slot the TO4 card was in. Copper commented, "Questions for 41K. Do you watch object shows such as Battle for Dream Island or Inanimate Insanity?" I answered that earlier in the Q&A when someone else asked the same question. 2. What made you become a Siren enthusiast? For me it was your channel, the nostalgia. It was a Siren I saw on a YouTube poop that I was watching back in 2016. In fact, I'll link said excrement in the description, though it's got some naughty words in it, so watch it at your own risk. Wingo Chan commented, "Is Alerter singularitized? I kind of assumed he was since he hangs out with Thunderbolt so much, but I never got any sort of closure. I guess you could say he's singularitized, though I've kind of thought of it as Thunderbolt and 2T22 are more hardcore singularitized due to the constant chasing of 1003 and 3T22. Like if a character tried to ask out Thunderbolt, he'd blow her up or reject her in a savage way, while characters like Alerter would be more gentle in terms of rejection and would try to let her down easier. So while he is singularitized, it isn't as huge of a singularitization as Thunderbolt. Oh, and by the way, I saw you got your hair dyed, as well as dyeing the hair of your Gacha Club and Gacha Studio characters. Nice face reveal too, though I'm not going to show it here. If any of you want to see what she looks like in real life, go show her some love by clicking the link in the description. Now I've written a script for a Gacha Studio video where GS Madison gets her hair dyed, so if she shows up in any videos before that one, she'll have brown hair in those videos. Wingo Chan Alerter on the other hand, I'll probably keep brown haired at least until after all parts of TSM the Love Triangle have been completed. Since I've written a TSM script involving her getting her hair dyed, and I kinda want to save it for after the end of the Love Triangle. So the TSM episode where Wingo gets her hair dyed will be directly after the final part of the Love Triangle. Neil Prasad 1905 commented, "Questions for 41K. Is the new poll creating some complications for your mini Sirens, like what's been happening to the mini Thunderbolt? I guess it's a little tricky to get the mini Thunderbolt up there sometimes because I have to disassemble it a bit and reassemble it to the pole." 2. Back when you made Random Siren Shorts 14, how did you get the VoiceForge dialogues because they're now only done via mobile app? I did the Random Siren Shorts 14 back when VoiceForge could still be used on PC. 3. What was that song you played at the end of the 39K subs Q&A? That was a song I made back in high school, and originally it was meant to have sort of a depressing tone to it, but the part I was playing at the end of the 39K special didn't seem as depressing sounding, and instead had kind of a cool vibe to it. Regarding the TSM characters and their zodiac signs, what are also their respective Chinese zodiac signs? Here they are. Also, the Chinese zodiac signs are animals, so I guess this makes them zodiac signs. I know, that was bad. Ah! You threw that tomato at me. 5. Since my zodiac sign is a Taurus, which other TSM characters have Taurus as their zodiac signs? Well, if we take a look at Wingo Chan's list of TSM characters' zodiac signs, we can see that only one character in this list has the Taurus sign, and that's Triblaster. So that makes 2 confirmed Taurus TSM characters, Triblaster and Neil Prasad 1905 Modulator. 6. When are you by chance going to do a full separate demonstration of all the Ringslim medley tones? Probably some point after all the Siren tests of this year are done. 7. You may or may not have mentioned this before, but if you by chance place your mini Sirens near the Westmont Thunderbolt, how will you keep them running without any power loss for the mini Sirens during the actual Siren test? There aren't any readily available power outlets near the Westmont Thunderbolt for me to plug my mini Sirens into. However, I did once use a drill battery to power the mini Thunderbolt back when I did the distance test at Chalco Park. Although I don't really see the point of testing my mini Sirens next to the Westmont Thunderbolt, as you wouldn't be able to hear any of them. All we'd be hearing is this. 8. Now that you've made a hardcore heavy metal version of The Big Crush, and you just made another version of The Big Crush in the 40,000 subs Q&A, what tones did you use for this version? Also, are you by any chance going to make a separate video of that version of The Big Crush? That was a Rinksling KTK5S cover that I nicknamed the Dab on Haters cover. And here's the title card for it, featuring the Gotcha Studio characters in different poses. And it will likely be posted on the same day as the Sweet Memories melodix card lineup of recording. It will probably be the last time you'll see Gotcha Studio Madison with brown hair, as the Gotcha Studio video I've scripted involving her getting her hair dyed will be several videos after that. Intercity Train Guy 225 commented, "Please don't miss this for 41K. Is there an image of the mystery speakers next to that Sterling M5 in Michigan?" I tried looking on Google Images, but couldn't find any mystery speakers, though there are a few videos on YouTube of an interesting setup, an M10 on a rotator. 2. What's your favorite TSM episode? Probably the Music Siren Conundrum, since that's the one I put the most amount of effort into. It has over 6,000 frames of animation. I'm not even kidding. 3. Have you heard about Thomas and Friends All Engines Go? Heard of it, but never watched it. And 4. Do you know about any British trains? No, not really. Golden Boy the Hedgehog commented, "Question for 41K, are you a Sonic fan?" I do have a Sega Genesis, though it's not the real one. It's that AT Games version with built-in games. And I do enjoy playing Sonic on it from time to time, though I have more Nintendo consoles than Sega ones. And I sometimes find myself playing more Mario than Sonic. And I feel I should say this. I absolutely love the song that accompanies the chemical plant stage in Sonic 2. Although AT Games seems to have altered it a bit, as well as almost all the other sounds on all the other games built into this unit.
God blast processing, they lowered the pitch. Oh well, it still sounds awesome.
Yeah, they lowered the pitch on the sounds. That ring sound sounds weird when at a different pitch. Even the Sega logo sting is a different pitch in the Sonic Spinball game. But oh well, this thing's still fun to play. Oh, and let's not forget that options menu music. SIE and K&S Productions Inactive commented, "For 41K, do my scripts please, I can't wait any longer." I do have Date with 1003 open in another tab at the moment, though it isn't the next TSM episode to be animated. Love Triangle Part 3 is. Anyways, that's all the questions and answers I have for this special, and before I sign off, the video queue is a little weird right now, and here it is. Now why is this unusual? Well, because there's a chance that these 4 could be uploaded on the same day. So while it may seem the next TSM episode is miles away, that isn't necessarily the case. And if you're wondering where my amateur singing compilation video is, I didn't want to push the next TSM episode down any farther, so I'll save it for some time after TSM The Love Triangle Part 3. Anyways, Broken Solar Panel signing off.